Most other communities want to be together. There's infrastructure, there's men, there's women, there's businesses supporting that community. That's why everywhere in America you see Chinatown or Little Italy. Doesn't matter where you go. I'm in Africa and there's Chinatowns popping up everywhere because that community of Chinese people believe in the family unit. But in America, we're seeing something a lot different, and we're seeing it really in Black America, where women want to, and in some cases are in certain spots, more financially affluent and doing better than their men. And this is what Black women consider to be the boss chick culture. Now, the boss chick culture is really displayed in the entertainment industry, although most Black women that are boss chicks are in the private sector outside of entertainment. But if we look at chicks like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Meg Thee Stallion, and of course Lorie Harvey, all we see are strong, independent women who don't take no ish from a man, and they are financially affluent as hell with a lot of power in their respective industries. And whenever something doesn't work out for them, they leave. And that's why you hear Lorie Harvey talking like this.
Just remember that you're the prize always.
Say that one more time.
Just remember that you are the prize.
Yes.
That's like his golden slogan for me.
Yeah. And what does that mean for you in relationships when you're like, I'm the prize? What does that mean?
It just means not compromising like my values, my happiness, my peace, not settling for less than what I know I deserve, and not being afraid to walk away from a situation if it's like no longer serving me.
You hear that? Lorie Harvey leaves every situation that doesn't serve her. She's young, beautiful, and rich, and whatever it comes across to her, it must serve her first, because boss chicks are first. And that works when you are young and you are beautiful. But you know what? As the old people in Black America used to say, time brings about a change. And a lot of Black women are looking at not having kids or moving away from their family. They come from a small family as it is, so they want to enter into their later years being alone. But the problem is this. It doesn't look very good when older Black women, aka city girls or boss chicks, are kinless. And there's an article that Yahoo put out called "A Disproportionate Number of Black Women Are Kinless as They Age." Let's take into consideration Carlene Davis. She was a lady that's 57 years old, and she spent a lot of her time not having kids or having a husband. But now she's not doing so well. She doesn't have a family. And guess what? Things are getting tougher on her, but we'll get into her in a moment. Let's get back to the point of these chicks now who are in their 30s, realizing that the boss chick culture doesn't work. Here's a former boss chick who wanted to be strong and independent, but now she's found out that she doesn't have what it takes.
Ladies, the strong Black woman narrative is a scam. Wake up! I had a good run. I did everything the society told me to do. I worked really hard. I damn near broke my back. I paid all my bills. I put everybody else first. I told men I was independent. I refused to accept gifts and help. I said I was strong. I did it, and I did it to say that I want nothing from it. I literally did not win any special awards. My life has not changed drastically. So now I'm going to reclaim my time, okay? When you see me now, know that I'm a soft babe. Soft like babe, you get it? I'm not Annie. I'm not Jay-Z. This is not a hard knock. That's not my life, okay? And when you see me now, you address me as such, okay? I want to be able to look at me and say, wow, this babe is soft. Wow, this babe likes enjoyment. Wow, this babe has not worked a day in her life. That's what I want you to see me as, okay? And when you see me next, address me as Chief Executive, Commander-in-Chief of Soft Life Babes. Good day.
And this clip sums it up very well. Women in their 30s who wanted to start a family are having a hard time trying to do so.
These women don't know they're picky, and they don't oftentimes know they're picky until it's too late. And that pickiness, that stubbornness hits them like a ton of bricks in their 30s. And they realize that they spent a lot of their 20s being so picky that they were alone. And now they're alone at 33, and it's much harder to be alone at 33 than it is at 23, because at 33, you're ready for that family. And guess what, honey? The family's not going to just show up like this because you decide one day that you want it to be there. It doesn't work like that. So think about these things. Think about, your requirements for a man and how specific and how rigid they are at 25, not at 35 when you've let that window pass.
Let's get back to the article. Let's get back to Carlene Davis. She's a lady that's 57 years old, no other family to care for her needs as she gets older. And when she's young, she never thought about what will happen when she gets old because she doesn't need a man. Doesn't matter about having a man. But you know what? Being single is costly. It costs any individual, any human. But guess who it costs the most? It costs women the most. You see, the reality is this. Social security and those benefits are actually reduced when you have one person. And when you're only one person to generate income for a given household, absolutely, things get less. And as you get older, you work less, right? And when you don't have any level of community around you as a woman, nobody looks after you. You don't have a man that has, worked hard to help you or your kids. You don't have any children to help you. So basically, the money that you took and spent on those girls' trips and going to the salon and getting weaves and getting sandals and telling guys that, you know what, you didn't really need them. Well, you don't need them right now. But basically, when you come out in your later years, you will find out that you need them. Not even because of money, but let's look at this situation here. Chris Marsh is a Ph.D. from the University of Maryland. And he says a lot of these boss chicks or women who have this mentality, they are short-sighted because Black Americans and Caribbeans have extensive fictive kin networks, but their non-Hispanic white counterparts have a lot of daily interactions and extended family members, all right? And so what happens is that people in this situation, they have more things involved in the social network. And that's not just hanging out, shooting dice, or drinking Hennessy. A lot of that also comes with a sense of community in business opportunities. Because when you're involved in community, then what happens is you get more support. A lot of these ladies are establishing relationships with people who don't really care about them. It's all about the bag. So when you see them taking pictures and you see them on trips and they're out here trying to have fun and showing the world on Instagram how much fun they're having, they haven't thought about, they don't have any investment into doing something for the community they want to build around themselves. And a lot of people don't like to build communities around themselves. That's typically what people want to do when they want to establish families and they want to establish wealth and they want to establish some level of community. Well, when you're a boss chick, you don't really care about that. What you care about is being a boss chick and you think you're going to be a boss chick forever. But really, the reality is you're only strong as the people that are around you. And what happens is that as you get older, your bad financial decisions and all of that is damaging to your economic well-being. And a lot of the people that are poor are unmarried. There is no planning for the future really as a kinless adult. Because you never really think about getting old and you don't think about, even Americans have a hard time with retirement and things like that. But people don't really look at the fact that, you don't have that base around you because you want situations that serve you and not others. But the reality is when situations only serve you, you are left with what is the most important thing, which is you. And people typically only respond to those that serve the world. And that is exactly why brands we love today are still so strong, from McDonald's to Coca-Cola to Apple and to Microsoft and the other brands that want to be here after we leave, because they consider serving the community with good products and giving people a reason to do something for them. Boss chicks don't have that mentality. Boss chicks look at whatever is serving them. And it's good to put yourself first and having yourself in high regard. I do agree. But at certain levels, you have to think about how you can serve others. And you would want to have a nice wife and you would want to have nice friends and you would want to have a nice community around you. And when you don't invest in that, you don't get it. And so you go through life being single and then, whoa, I don't have the marriage benefits that the married people have. I don't have the tax benefits. I don't have another income. I don't have the ability to work as much as I want because I'm older in the market and people might think I'm too expensive and things like that. And married people do get, a lot of benefits than people who live alone. And so when you're looking at being a boss chick, you don't really think about these things. And we have to understand that people who are married, although it is a harder thing to do, they do have advantages that people who are not married have. And so when it happens, you think that it's not important, when in actuality, it's very important. And that's why boss chicks are only for a certain in time. You know, it's kind of like NBA players. I wanted to be an NBA point guard. I was never good enough to do so, but I wanted to be that kind of person, right? And I think if I was an NBA point guard, maybe I would have played if, you know, I could make it to the NBA. Could be anywhere from 1 year to maybe, if I'm lucky, 15 years. But then you still retire as a very young man and you don't have anything else that you can do versus what I'm doing now, which is something that's more long term, and I can do this for the rest of my life because of the community I'm trying to build around me. And that's what boss chicks want to become. They want to be somebody hot for the moment, and they don't look at how things affect them in the long term. And you can get mad all you want, but that's really just how it works. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Shay Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.